My name is Algimantas. I present spiritual teachings. This time I decided to ride a motorbike and speak you my teaching while riding. I want to tell you about the future. I mean the future when we are resurrected after our body consumes all physical energy. That is also a certain frequency of Creator's energy transformed to suit our material vehicle, which humans consider to be a man, a human being. Unfortunately, far from it. It's only a material vehicle, just similar to the means of transportation we have, say a motorcycle, an automobile, a plane, a vessel, or even a spaceship. It depends where we want to move. If somewhere about in a near vicinity, then we may walk. So, this is my motorbike, Honda NC 750 DCT. A wonderful motorbike. It's automatic gear change. Well, it's possible to have even manual by special keys, but when there is automatic and computer-controlled gear changing depending upon the speed, so why should bother oneself with the manual gear changing? Because computer is programmed to feel much better than a human mind can feel when to change the gears. So let's try to go on. I'll lower the window shield. This is a bit lower. Let's go. We start our trip from my residential area. It's a quiet place, some 10 kilometers from the center of the city, downtown, and our living temple that we usually attend to worship Creator, the Paradise Trinity, I am. Now there is a general reconstruction of our street. Tarmac has already put down, so it's pleasant to have this sort of a surface. Very nice. So, I represent Creator to this planet as his ambassador, and that means I represent him in four personalities. Not I am in four personalities, but I represent Creator in four personalities. Three centers and sources of the Paradise Trinity, and they are all coordinate. And the Aggregate Deity, I am. It should always be written in capital characters. So the Aggregate Deity is that powerful energetically that is operating within creation through the three sources and centers of the Paradise Trinity. Guys are crossing the intersection in white shirts because today is the beginning of the new school year in Lithuania, as I live in Lithuania in Eastern Europe at the Baltic Sea. It's a very small country, having the total area of 65,300 square kilometers. You measure territories by square miles, so convert into miles. So it will be a very, very small distance just to cross the country. It's enough, maybe 3 to 4 hours to cross on freeway from the western part of the country at the Baltic Sea. A squirrel crossed the road. That's a very nice and green area. At some places you feel like you are in the forest. Oh, maybe I'll turn right just to give you a little bit of atmosphere of this place. The speed limit is 30 kilometers. So imagine it's under 15 miles an hour. And there are only private homes. There are no high-rises. Only this sort of environment in this area. Very quiet, peaceful, very nice. Let's turn left. I don't know where we will be taken to, but anyway, this is the biggest homes, two-storied buildings. These are old construction buildings, of course not dating back to some 18th or 19th centuries, but maybe some 20, 30 years. So today I would like to tell you a few words about our life after resurrection. Lithuania is a strong Catholic country. So when people pass away, they usually have the tradition to give the last memorial tribute to the deceased. And of course, they invite a priest, a Catholic priest, and those close relatives, the family members, friends, colleagues, neighbors, acquaintances, friends might come just to express their tribute. And it's a custom for the Catholic priest to say the last words. That let the soil be soft and light for the deceased. And he has gone away for the eternal rest. Yeah, When I would hear these words as a kid, I would shudder. Goodness gracious. Eternal rest in some darkness, in some place beyond, from where no one has come back, and having spoken a word, what's over there? Darkness, eternal darkness, rest, eternal rest. And I also shuddered at the thought when also we throw a handful of soil on the coffin. So there is some sort of a dreadful sound being produced by the boards of the top of the coffin, and caught some crumbs of the soil. So it seemed to me, look, just very soon this guy will be under a thick layer of soil above him. He will choke very soon. It seemed to me that, of course, he is motionless. He is at rest. He is still. But it seemed to me, to a little child, that he is breathing and standing at the corpse during the funeral ceremony. I was trying just to look at his chest. Would it not move up and down, at least insignificantly? I attended many, many funerals, because when I was maybe some 5, 6 years old, just before the first grade, my grandmother would take me each time the procession of the funeral was passing by our house. And she would always tell me, go and wash. We'll have to see off in the last journey the deceased. It's our duty to show him the last respect. And I grew up in a small city, so very many people knew one another. And plus, there was a Catholic church, some sort of a commandment. If you see the funeral procession passing by, so join this procession. If you have no possibility to, at least go out of the house and stand right in the street, and always take off a hat. And my grandma was very, very pious woman. She was illiterate, but she was very sincere. And she would take me each time the procession of funerals would pass our house. And in addition to that, in the evening she would also take me to church, as we lived not far away from the church. So I got a lot of experience while at the age of some 6, 7 years old, while being in the cemetery, which was next to the church, And during the Mass, I was looking around, standing. I didn't want to kneel. And my grandmother was just pulling my hand down. Just kneel down. I could not understand. Why should I do? Because I felt how my knees are hurting on the very, very hard floor. So my experience was very negative. At that time, I didn't know I would go myself so deep into crater, but the real, true crater, not the one, well, promoted by church, which is a dogma, a God dogma. And then, of course, they do realize, only according to their understanding and insight, that in eternity they will rest. They will rest at peace. Yeah, but that's not the case. There will be eternity, but not right after we are resurrected on a higher level of our life. Eternity is only on the dwelling abode of Creator, the Paradise Trinity I am. And this abode is also eternal, and this is paradise. But it is in the very center of all creation, in the middle of creation. And to reach it, we'll have to cover a lot of different planets associated with myriads of different orders of spiritual personalities. So, when we're not yet trained, like at school, when we're in the primary school, so of course we are doubting what's going on because we don't understand what's the meaning of the school, and our age is so young that we have not managed to experience anything about the different grades at school. Our mind is completely unprepared for it. We cannot imagine what might be in the future of several years. The less so we can have any idea what is to be when we finish, say, high school. What might be the case for us. So that's why it's very difficult for young little kids to get an information when teachers, parents, and priests do not know what is this eternity, what is creator, and what is when we are passing away. Actually, only the body passes away. So that's why I decided that I would tell you a few words, but I will touch upon one aspect. Just traveling. As I've mentioned to you at the beginning, our body is just a means to move from one place to another, either directly or using some mechanical means of transportation. But in addition to that, and it's even more important, for doing good deeds according to Creator's will. And it's not yet enough to do a good deed. You should do it out of love, without even any slightest expectation for thank you for this good deed. No, you just feel this sort of spiritual consciousness within you. You do desire to do goodness to others. You feel it. It's the meaning of living on this planet, no matter in what part of the planet, no matter what religion you might be prophesying. There is only one meaning: just to do goodness for the benefit of all. So, of course, it's very important that we should also realize we need spiritual teachers, that we would get some knowledge, the knowledge which would help you to know what is the meaning of life on this planet, what is to expect after resurrection. So once the body cannot express any pulse of the brain, it's considered to be truly already dead. And we have to think what we not to have to think when we are alive. We have to think that we would be resurrected on the third day, and not when there is a special resurrection and those who have passed away on our planet would be called by the archangel, would be called in a group according to the list. So this is a very, very important thing. You have to have faith. That is, not only perform a certain ritual at church, but you have to feel within your heart, to feel that you do really desire Creator. You do desire to discover Him within. So even though you have not discovered Him yet, but when you hear such a claim that it is possible to discover Creator, you do not simply express some negative attitude to this assertion, but you try to think ever deeper how to discover Him. I would like to discover Him. So even these thoughts would already mean the first sprouting of your faith. What is given by church and by the believers in church, it's belief. Belief, it's the ritualistic performance of different rituals. And this performing of rituals, well, for a while, pacifies one's mind, but it's not invigorating one's spiritual personality, not enlightening the spiritual personality, not giving some stronger desire to cling to Creator. Even the experience that I feel something within me stronger than I am myself. And this is the operation of Creator Spirit, thought adjuster within. These are the very impulses of the sprouting faith of that person, of that son of Creator or daughter of Creator. So in this case, this guy or a lady will be resurrected on the third day after passing away from its native planet. The body remains on that planet, but what travels is spiritual personality. Spiritual personality is our true essence, our true self. And this true self has been bestowed by Creator Himself. It's not, say, the legacy of our material birth givers, which we have the tradition to call our parents, mother and father. No, this is the gift of Creator Himself. It is spiritual. Just this is the place they sell different cherry bushes, fruit trees, honey, and even, I think, mother bees for a colony of a new colony of bees, the leader of the colony of bees. Okay, let's go back. So, when we have no body and we are unconscious, we're being transferred to the halls of resurrection on the first world of a very great extent, larger segment of creation. Local system, where we are resurrected. But this transportation of our spiritual personality, unconscious, in a very deep sleep, is being carried by the transport angels. It's by our seraphim. By the way, those who have already faith rather than dogmatic belief, they have a pair of seraphim, guardians, who are always protecting and teaching their mortals whom they are attached to as teachers, guardians and protectors. So they are carrying our spiritual personality in an unconscious sleep, because the so-called physical death is that sleep, which is necessary because seraphim travel at a very high speed. It exceeds the speed of light. So that's why this body should not, survive. It will truly burn, because the speed in a special transportation energy circuit increases the speed of light by 3 times. So no material form can be preserved under the conditions. So that's why Creator has designed that our body should be left on the planet of our descent, of our origin. As the meaning of our life on this planet, I already told you, to do goodness for the benefit of all. And we have this means, material body, to do the good deeds. But Creator has prepared for us myriads of worlds for accumulating ever higher experiences. And this sort of journey to paradise, to our paradise parents, truly is a very long one. So our seraphim will carry us even to other higher worlds, not only after we leave this planet. He will be our companion for a very long time, and even as long as we reach paradise. And he will be actually the pair of seraphim will be the first ones we will be meeting on this resurrection occasion. So that's great. They are now accompany us, protect us, and guard, and we will associate with them, and they are truly very nice personalities, both spiritually, intellectually, and mercifully assisting us everywhere and always. But they are also have their own core on paradise of perfected seraphim. We shall be in a different paradise core of finites, of mortals, but we shall associate with him even eternally. And they have also a certain meaning when we help us. By this, they also accumulate experience how to deal with those who are much more restricted than the seraphim. How to help, assist them, that is us, when they have no knowledge of the life beyond, of so many orders of different personalities. How to deal in brotherhood and in cooperation rather than in competition. That's why they accumulate this experience that would be necessary even for them. So that's why I would say, when we begin to truly get acquainted with a new world after resurrection, we will be given a special companion for our soul identity. And this special assistant is called Merontia companion. Merontia, it's a higher type of energy than on our planet. We have no this sort of energy. That's why there is impossible to have any comparison. What is that Merontia companion? But it's a spiritual personality and having spiritual body. What is a spiritual body? It's the outer form of still higher vibrations than the form out of 570 soul forms that we shall pass through. We shall be having all these 570 outer forms, or for you it's easier to understand, bodies, but not material, but merontial. And it'll depend upon our spiritual living content, consciousness of our spiritual personality. So that's why the more we are spiritually matured on this world, our initial world, in our journey to our parents on Paradise, the more we shall skip out of these 570 Merontia forms. Because our spiritual consciousness of our personality needs an adequate outer form. All this is represented and expressed by the frequency of the vibrations that make up the outer form. So that's why even on this world, well, people say, why those who are good should pass so early? Because goodness is a measure of one's spiritual maturity. So he has already acquired a certain level that he might be resurrected on a higher level, just to continue his journey. As I mentioned before, there is no physical death for the spiritual personality. It's the gift of Creator, who is the source and center of eternity. So everything, what he gives as his gift, it's also eternal. It has no end. Unless we, by our conscious choice, decide ultimately, not simply in doubting, But ultimately, I do not want this living path for creator. It's not my, say, liking, not to my liking. And since it's ultimate, okay, even after resurrection, you will not be moved to another world, and you'll not be given another form of your soul identity. And there shall never be the second resurrection for such people. But the personality will not be destroyed. It simply would be dissembled into separate parts, like an automobile. Its body is one segment, wheels, axles, windows, doors, engine. These are plenty of other parts, but the automobile is not moving anymore. So after our qualities making up our personality shall be dissembled, they shall not be reassembled again, never. And even the fact of our existence in creation shall never be disclosed, even for those who might be looking for him, say, children or parents. They will not receive any response. There will be just silence. And by this you should have to understand that the person you are in search for simply rejected Creator's evolution and the living path of Creator's reality. While those who proceed, if you are intending to have some sort of a meeting, so if there is mutual agreement, of course, you shall meet them and you shall have visit with them. So that's why I would like to tell you, in conclusion, don't waste time now, because you're paving your spiritual personality for the next step that shall be after resurrection. And there shall never be such a state of consciousness at rest, the more so eternally. Eternal is only Creator's evolutionary plan in operation as the phenomenon of evolution, development to a higher level of understanding, experience, and operation. So that's why the myriads of worlds that we shall be passing, some of our brethren, but not those who are from our planet yet, but who are assisting us, who are teaching us, depending upon the level of that world. So these brethren of ours travel at the speed of light. They travel even on energy circuits that increases the traveling threefold. So all this is reality that we shall be in in the future. But we start this very first step already today, already on this world. Don't forget it. Don't lose a second in waste. So this is the end of our trip. And I wish you peace with Creator, but not at being at rest, but doing goodness actively. Doing goodness for the benefit of all. As it is important, you need to accumulate experience while doing goodness for others. Therefore, you need my teachings. You need spiritual teachers that I started training, and they are the salt of humanity. I'll show you my yard. I enjoyed the thuyas. They look wonderful. Look what nice thuyas they are. Where have you seen such thuyas anywhere? Only here. Great. I'm truly enjoying seeing them. Yeah, the fall has come. September the 2nd. This is mint. Mint. When there is a lot of mint, I don't want mint tea. Just imagine. When I have no mint, I always wanted to have mint tea, and that's why I was buying it in the grocery shop. This is my very young apple tree. I've already picked up some, maybe 8 apple trees or 10. I took them to my granddaughter and grandson. This is, I think, cherry tree. This one, another sort of apple tree. This year, it didn't have any blossoms, but last year she gave me 5 apples. It's young. It's young. This is my garden, tomatoes, growing tomatoes. But this summer was very cold in Lithuania and pretty rainy. So tomatoes are small. Oh, I see. The yellow one is already lying on the ground, not yet ripen. This is a plum tree. These are cucumbers, but they are look like this one because of too little of sun and warmth. I had maybe some 10 cucumbers only. Look, they're very small. Too much of rain. Okay. But tomatoes are still plenty. So I'm having them. Look, I maybe pick up this one. It's not bad. It's not yet ripened, but I'll keep in the kitchen. Oh, I'm trying to keep them in the sun. Maybe I'll leave it in the sun for a while. Yeah. So much I'll show you my stock with the flag of crater. That's great. I enjoy this symbol. Very meaningful. That's it. Let's get indoors, and then I'll push the motorbike into the garage. This is my motorbike rider's gear. This is my cycling outfit and my bicycle. Yeah. That's it. This is my place of residence. Well, let's go and drive in this motorbike, or rather walk in the motorbike. I'll show you the books. These are the books that are printed with the teachings of Jesus. I speak to you again. Then the revelation teachings of Creator. Eternity of a blink. Then the living silence, the might of love, and the last book, it's volume 4. So this is here. You are within. You are within. Well, I'm drying different herbs, nettles. I make nettle tea or put them into a salad, into a soup. Yeah, dandelion. So much what concerns our association and my assistance to you. I want you to help. I want to make your life more comfortable, that you would have a better understanding of the reality of Creator, of yourselves. My motive is only love, and I'm doing it out of love, which is coming out of Creator Himself. And when I open up to Him sincerely and associate with Him, so of course, I'm drinking His living water, this love. And there is a great excess of His love within me. So that's why I'm trying to even the pressure from within by sharing this love in my teachings. So that's it. It's my another bicycle. By the way, I bought it many years ago in the United States when I was attending one conference of the Urantia book readers. And I didn't even know this company, Schwinn. So I wondered the shopkeeper, what sort of a company is Schwinn? Well, if you are in the United States and if you don't know the company Schwinn, So it's similar to being in Europe and knowing nothing what is Mercedes company in the car production, in the car manufacture. Well, so since that time I know it's an American company. Okay, so long, I leave you in peace and close the door for our meeting. That's great.